Hi everyone, my name is Martha, and for this project I chose to focus on the topic of Appalachian identity. This was definitely one of my most favorite topics that we covered this semester, and so I really wanted to dive into it a little bit deeper. That's why I chose it for the topic for this project. Going into this semester, I knew absolutely nothing about Appalachia. I knew of the Appalachian Trail, and I'd heard a few of the stereotypes, but that was pretty much it. And I certainly did not know anything about the people who lived there. And by combining both tradition and transformation, this region has formed an extremely strong sense of community over the years, and it has developed such a unique identity. Appalachian identity today displays a region that was once just strictly marked by poverty and misrepresentation, and they are now redefining who they truly are, which is resilient, creative, and collective. As I stated earlier, I find this topic to be very interesting, and I now have a better understanding and a deeper appreciation for this topic. My position on the topic is that Appalachian identity should be understood as a living identity that has been shaped over time by history, place, diversity, and cultural exploration instead of simply being understood as a stereotype that isn't even true. There were several stereotypes we discussed this semester that were placed on this region and the people in it as well, but they never let that get to them. They kept doing what they were doing because it worked for them and who they are, what they needed and what they needed to do. They continue to stay true to who they are. At its core, Appalachian identity is rooted in a sense of place, and it is characterized by really, really deep family ties, cultural continuity, and a connection to the region's landscape. So there's a really big connection to the people, land, place. It all comes together, and they're all really deeply connected. The two disciplines that I used to help look at this topic were sociological and cultural as well. From a sociological perspective, by resisting the negative portrayals and stereotypes that have been placed on the people within the region, they have created an identity that has formed against those who judge from the outside. So like I said earlier, they don't let all the stereotypes get to them, what people are saying about them get to them from the outside, because they're not there, they're not living it, they have no idea. And they keep right on doing what they're doing, and they stay resilient, they stay persistent, and they stay true to who they are. And from a more cultural perspective, the renewed interest in traditional creative practices shows the connection between their identity and their progressive artistic movements. Their connection to the land and the people they share it with shows a really, really powerful symbol that their identity is full of reinvention and persistence, which is not often said about the identity of other regions today. And I will continue to hold my positive position on this topic. The strength, resilience, connection, and persistence, they are all extremely admirable, because like I said, you don't see that often, which makes this identity stand out, which made it interesting to me, making me want to dive into it a little bit more. And I really enjoy taking a deeper dive into what this particular identity looks like and finding the deeper meaning behind it as well. Thank you.